Well, welcome to Debbie's Back Porch. Now, you caught me in the middle of dinner. I have stuffed pork chops in the oven. And I truly am at the point where it's going to take a steam cleaner to get my kitchen straight. But all you can see is the stove, and so you don't care. I'm going to make a side dish to go with our stuffed pork chops. And I thought about it, and I was going to make potato salad, and then I decided, no, I've got everything I need. I'm going to make potatoes O'Brien. So this is real simple, pretty quick. I do it just a little bit different than most folks do, in that, as I've showed you before, I cook the potatoes first. I boiled these whole. I've talked about this in another video, and then cooled them off and peeled them. I really like the texture you get when you do it that way. And this was 3 medium to small potatoes. Probably it's still more than Fred and I need, but he eats them left over. This is a little bit of green pepper and a little bit of red pepper. All together it's about 1/2 cup. This is 1/2 of a small onion. And then we've got our salt and pepper. And I have just a little bit of rosemary, which I'm going to add. And right now I'm just waiting for the oil to get hot, because I need it good and hot to start, and then I'll be back. I think we're good and hot. Let's check it. Drop in a little piece. It was a little slow to sizzle. We're going to give it just another couple minutes. So, potatoes O'Brien are something really, really simple. But they really dress up anything. And we like them, even though I don't eat very many potatoes. I will eat a little of this. I'm cooking these already cooked potatoes. Put them in fairly large chunks, and they're going to break up a little bit as we go. And I'm going to let the potatoes get a little browning on them before I add anything else. I think most folks think of potatoes O'Brien as breakfast. And they are yummy with breakfast. Sometimes in our groups, folks ask about frying potatoes. I hear people have a lot of problems sometimes with frying potatoes, or frying in general. And the trick to frying, and if you've watched my videos, I've said this more than once, the trick to frying is patience. Let your oil get hot. Test it, make sure whatever you drop in it sizzles. You can also test it with a thermometer. And then put your food in and wait. Just wait. You don't want to try to turn anything until you see browning on the bottom side. Because if you do, even on the very best cast iron, it'll stick a little, and it'll leave little sticky bits, and you won't get that nice creamy crust that you want, the nice crispy crust that you want. And so I put it in and leave it until I actually see a little browning. And when I see some browning, which I don't yet, by the way, so I'm not going to do it, I'll nudge it just a little bit to make sure that it lets go without tearing the food. One of the things about cooking your potatoes first is that you get a soft and creamy texture all the way through the potato. So you have a nice outside crust, and then you have a very moist, smooth texture inside. And we just like them better that way. I also often can potatoes. When you get a lot of them and you get a good price on them, I'll can them. And canned potatoes have the benefit of cooking up the same way. They're the best fried potatoes if you are a canner. I don't care for them much for mashed potatoes because the starch is gone, but they do fry up really well. So we're going to let these cook a minute and I'll be back. Well, I know it's a little hard for you to see, but they are starting to get golden brown on the back side. So we're going to turn these. I've been pushing on them a little bit and they're not stuck, so it's okay to turn them. See that little bit of browning? And as I say, these are pre-cooked, so they may break up a little bit. Yes, see, there's some nice browning on those. And if you'll notice, I am using a metal spatula in my cast iron pan. Yes, I am. Some folks think you shouldn't, and some folks think you should, and I think I want to. So there is some theory that it helps the buildup, helps keep so much buildup from accumulating. So I've turned them. Now I'm going to add my peppers. And I didn't add the peppers to start with because I didn't want them to cook quite as much as the potatoes. The peppers are small pieces, they'll burn. And the onions. Spread those out just a little. Little salt. Isn't that pretty? A little red pepper. You can use black pepper if you prefer. Okay, we'll be back when the other side is brown and we'll turn it again. Well, I'm back and I'm seeing some browning on the back. So I'm going to turn these again. Make sure I get the peppers and onions down in the oil to finish cooking. And I can't stress enough that frying is not a busy affair. I see people fry sometimes, and it's like they're right at it. They're busy. They're turning and they're mashing, and you just put your food in there and let it cook and leave it alone and have some patience. You really should only turn once or twice. And you need to let a crust form. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to beat that dead horse, but I watch people frying, and it concerns me. That crust will seal up the flavors, the nutrition, the goodness. And if you're turning it all the time, you're losing the juice, and you're toughening whatever you're cooking. So get a good high heat, put the food in, let a crust form, let the browning happen. Browning is not just about how things look. Browning is about how things taste. And so we're going to leave these alone now until they're done. There might be some of them that need to be turned again, but mostly we're done with this except for time and patience. And I'll be back. Okay. This is our last turn. I want to make sure they're good and done on all sides. Do that last little crisping and I'll be back. Okay, I'm getting ready to take these up. And as always, let me explain, I apologize for the noise. We have dogs, we have people in and out, we have machinery running. We have to eat anyway. I'm now going to sprinkle, for about the last minute, just a bit of rosemary on the top. And I don't think actually rosemary is a part of the recipe for potatoes O'Brien, but oh, it's so good on potatoes. Yep, I think we're there. I'm going to take these up and drain them on paper towels, and then I'll plate them up and show you what we've got. Well, that's a mighty lovely presentation for some plain old fried taters. The onions, the peppers, that will all make the taste wonderful. Let me get you a serving. Hold on. You don't have to have a bite. Ooh, it's hot. I don't know if you can hear the crunch. I can hear the crunch. It's very yummy. I hope you'll try this. Easy peasy, good with breakfast, good with dinner. We're having stuffed pork chops tonight, and this is our side. We're going to be very happy. Thank you for joining us on Debbie's Back Porch. Hope to see you again tomorrow.